Morning everybody. I'm just doing a bit of spraying. I haven't done any filming of this yet. It's a new spray, well, new to us. Sorry, that's all in. Just unfolding. I've had a bit of a go now and got it warmed up, so it's all working well. And yeah, it's getting the hang of it now. I've done a couple of days on it now, so I'm sort of getting my head round all its little niggles and what it's good at and what it's not good at. I've only ever driven our Berthoud sprayer, which I've done a video not that long ago on it. I think it's in the last 10 videos or so. So that's all I've got to compare it to. So I ain't got a lot to compare it to, but work or not? No. That's fine. Yeah, it's the first video doing this. Getting the hang of it now, finally. It's older than our old sprayer. Our old sprayer was 2003, Berthoud, and this is to 1999, I think, or 98, one of the two. But it is a good sprayer. Worth about the same as what our spray was worth. Ours went over to Romania. So I'm just thinking what I've got to do and what I ain't got to do. That's that, I believe. Click that and then start spraying. Yeah, started spraying. So yeah, our old sprayer went to Romania. It went abroad. There's a lot of things on this that are better, and then a lot of things that was on the Berthoud that was better. The worst thing about this sprayer is its booms. The booms aren't great on it. We've had to make some brackets on the end of the booms because the nozzles stick about that much lower than the actual boom. I don't know whether because it's age, but I was doing a lot of roundup on stubble ground, which had the headland stubble and subsoiled, and because I was going across that, it was very much making the booms swing up and down, and it kept smacking off the floor and breaking the nozzle bodies. So yeah, that weren't great. But we made some sort of brackets on the end of the booms to help stop that from happening. If I'm doing this wrong, I'm sorry, because I've never used a trail sprayer before, so please don't judge. So yeah, the booms are one thing that aren't as good as before on the Berthoud. However, there is a lot of things that are a lot better on this. It's got a radar on one of the wheels, right hand wheel, and when I've got it on automatic, it will raise and lower the pressure to keep it at 130 litres per hectare, which makes it so much easier because the Berthoud didn't do that. It done it to a certain extent, but it wasn't as good as what this is, keeping it at a certain rate. This has had an airtake system on it, and somebody's taken it off, previous owners. We don't use it, so it's not a big thing for us really. Today I'm just going to do a inside video because, as you can see, I'm having to use both hands a lot. Is it an auto? Oh, not it. Sorry, headlands are a bit awkward with it, as I'm finding out. And sorry, hang on. But yeah, so it's got a steering axle, which is what I'm just playing about with at the moment. It makes it a lot easier, less crop damage on the headlands, and yeah, that does help a lot. Yeah, it's the rate it keeps it at a certain, in automatic it keeps it at a certain, which Berthoud didn't do quite so well. So you could be spraying it, like, if you weren't looking at the screen, it was in the very top corner of the screen. And if you're watching everything else, if something else is going a bit funny, you could see that it'd take you a good 15 minutes before you like looked up at the screen to see it was running at too high a rate. You could be running at 140, 150 and not know, where it wouldn't buzz at you, where this does, and it reduces and increases the pressure to keep it right, which is a really good thing because you don't have to even really look at that box. But I don't know whether you can see on the camera at the moment, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes on this. Delta screen does all of your sort of litres per hectare rates and everything. The main box is all your boom sections, lifting, unfolding, spray on, spray off, all that. This box here is your steering axle. Steering axle only works when you're not spraying, which is good. Just realised Dad had decided to drill this field the other way to usual. And yeah, so that's good on this. It does swing it round a bit when if you're still pivoting, you flick your sprayer on, it does lock the axle straight at the steering not the steering axle, steering drawbar I mean. It does actually swing the booms around quite hard when it puts the axle straight. And then this extra box here is our guidance system. It's the standard hexagon, like it's the same one out of the Berthoud. So exactly, yeah, it's the same one out of the Berthoud. So I know that pretty well. It is just getting used to having a trailed sprayer. With the self-propelled, the boom is fixed to what you're driving, so that makes it a lot easier than what this is. But to be honest, now I'm getting the hang of it. In little fields it's a bit awkward, but in bigger fields like this is probably what, 8 acre field, but it's a nice square field and it's a lot easier in here than like our smaller triangle bits and awkward shaped bits here at Cowley. But when I get into the bigger fields it's a lot easier. I've done a bit of roundup and then what I'm doing at the moment, which is classed as a pre-emergence, but we've spoken to the agronomist and he says it's still perfectly fine to slip on at the moment. It's only just sort of coming up. One other thing with this sprayer, it's got Ramsey valves on it. The Ramsey valves take a minute to open up and let the product through to the end of the boom. So sometimes, usually that far end section takes a couple more seconds to get going to the rest. But it's an older sprayer, it's 1999, so you can't complain really. But the actual sprayer itself is in really good condition for age, I think. The booms are alright. I've spoken to Ant at Spray Tech, who does all our work on our sprayers and things, and all our MOTs, and he said that night sprayers are known for having wobbly booms. You can probably see them flying all about at the moment. But once you're on the flat straight, on the runs, it is pretty dead on. But it is quite nice and easy. We've gone from our Berthoud to this because Berthoud was getting old. It had 9,500 hours on it. It had 3 lots of pumps, and in the end we changed 2 out of 3 of them. We're very lucky that we could find cheaper versions of the Berthoud pumps. The Berthoud pumps were like 2-3 grand, and we managed to find ones that were £900 or less. So that's what was going through our minds. Also, the hubs on them are meant to be very expensive, and we hadn't had one go yet. So we were waiting for that to happen next, which it didn't with us, luckily. It's gone over to Romania now, and yeah, so it's what you expect with an older sprayer. You've got to expect breakdowns and that, and things to go wrong. Had a few little issues with this to start off with, but it didn't take long to get us sorted. On the very top, I don't know whether you can see behind me, but there's that white box, that's got all the electrics in it. And there's a little tiny compressor in there which does all the pressure for the sprayer. And that was playing up. It was playing up pretty badly, to be honest. It wasn't building the pressure up. It's got one of the valves had got stuck and was only letting the pressure build upwards. It wouldn't let it go down. So it was stuck at too high a pressure and it was spraying on way too heavy. So what we've done is run an air line from the back of the tractor, because it's air brakes, up to the box, and using the air out the tractor rather than the sprayer. And then yesterday one of the beam sections wouldn't shut on or off. You do it very intermittently. On the back you've got like these little black top hat things, and oh, I'm not been following the tram line, starts left marks. That's left marks in the field. But yeah, so under there's like a little electric, there's like a little pin that spins and shuts each section on and off. One of them wasn't working well, so we put a bit of WD-40 and a bit of oil on it and that, and it's working again now, so that's good. Sorry, I'm just doing the headlands. Headlands are a bit awkward with it, but I'm getting there. But I've got my PA1 and PA2, which is what you need for spraying with a boom sprayer. PA1's more for storage and holding the sprays, and PA2 is for boom sprayers. I've done both of them when I was at college. And then you've got your Neroso points. Everyone who does spraying knows about the Neroso points. You get your Neroso points shows like Serials and Lambda and that. And then they also do like cinemas, Frontier, and sort of like a couple of hour cinemas, and meetings and things. And when they come to MOT sprayer, they also can give you points for that as well if you're helping out and doing it all. And so I just got to go around Telegraph Pole, don't want to smack it. I've always shoved it in the edge once and then a bit of the boom, but that's another thing with this. The brake backs on it aren't quite as big as what they were on the Berthoud, which takes a bit of getting used to. But yeah, I'm getting the hang of it now. It's just, hopefully Dad's put all the tram lines in the right place. It makes it a lot easier for me when he's got tram lines in the right place. But yeah, so overall it's quite a good sprayer. For the age of it, it is a good sprayer. I'll probably do a little walk round at the end after I finish spraying, just to show you what it looks like from outside, and all the hopper and that. The hopper's a lot easier to use to put the chemical in and that. And yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of it now, so that's the main thing. But yeah, so if anybody who's looked on my Instagram page, you'll see that I'm starting to do merchandise. I've got a couple of t-shirts there. Well, not a couple of t-shirts. Got a t-shirt, and I'll show you the t-shirt in the last video, which was embroidered on. I'm not going with that because it's very expensive. It was quite not expensive, but it's more expensive than what I was hoping to be spending for t-shirts. They was embroidered on, where I've gone for these ones that are printed on. They still look just as good. I've ordered the first few to see what they turn out to be like. But if people are interested and want to have a look at them, if you go onto my Instagram page, you'll be able to see what I am doing. I'm doing the t-shirts where it's on the chest and then big on the back. They're all both printed on, And then I've also got mouse mats that I'm doing. See what they look like, and then also some mugs. They've all got my Jason Fast Track 8250 logo on at the moment. I might have a look and see, well, for the people who like the class tractors and combines and things, I might see if I can get the same sort of like illustration done for them, if people would be interested in it. I'm probably going to cut this bit out. I'm making a mess of it. There we go. Right, where was I? Yeah, so I'm doing mugs, mouse mats and t-shirts. So if anybody who's interested in that, please direct message me on Instagram. They should be turning up, I think, how he said, the 10th of November they should be turning up. So we'll see what they turn out to be. If they're good, I'll go for them good and proper. And if you like them, then just direct message me and I'll sort it out for you. Get some printed, some more printed. I think I've got, it was 5 mouse mats ordered, 5 mugs ordered, and 5 t-shirts. I think 5 or 10 t-shirts ordered. So that'll be the first little batch I've done. Just sort of tested, see how they go. If they go well from there and people are interested and want to buy them, then I'll carry on with it and keep it going. But I am thinking about for Christmas doing a little giveaway. I'll sort that out for you and sort of let you know probably towards the end of November. But that's a little surprise for people. Probably like a little, not competition, but we'll see. Yeah, well, you'll see in a video or two time, in a video or two's time. Sorry, my brain's not quite with it this morning. Trying to keep this. Somebody walking their dog not down a footpath. But we'll have to not spray that bit of the field. Doesn't want to stay in the footpath either, but oh well. We have a lot of problems with that here. People not following the footpaths and walking across our fields and things, but one of them things that a lot of people know with footpaths. One of the other fields, we've got some houses to back up, they're building houses, sort of doing building work on the houses there, and they've decided that it's a good idea to use our field to store all the materials in. Which is very nice of them. And then not last night, the night before was fireworks night, so I was spraying that field yesterday afternoon, and I decided to leave all their sparkler wires and all the caps off the rockets and things, all the little plastic caps off the end of the fuses of rockets and things all across the field. So I decided to pick them all up and chuck them back in their garden. They want to treat our field like it's their back garden, or treat their garden like it's our field. They've also got chickens in our field as well, penned up, so very nice neighbours. But yeah, so yeah, everyone knows, farmers know what it's like. Even people that work on farms, they know what it's like, what people are like, well, disrespectful they can be, but there is a lot of people that aren't disrespectful, but it's just the ones that aren't respectful of your ground and what you're doing, they're just making they stand out, don't they? I'll stop talking about that now because it gets me annoyed. But I think that's probably going to be about it for the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll do a little walk around the sprayer itself once I've finished spraying, and I hope you like the merchandise, and I will see you on the next video. So here's the tractor, the sprayer. This is a steering drawbar. What it's got is it pivots there and then pivots there, and then it's got two little rams there which twist, and then that's the little sensor that tells it when it's straight and not. It's PTO powered pump. Works perfectly fine, works all good. You've got your front box, that's quite useful to keep all your gloves and things in. Your induction hopper and all that is really quite well thought out for the age of the machine. It's all sort of hand done, where the Berthoud was you flicked a switch and the hydraulic ram brought it down. But it ain't that heavy, so it don't matter really. And then all the taps and that are a lot more simpler than the Berthoud. The Berthoud had all of these and about 4 more as well as on top of that. So yeah, it's pretty, yeah, a lot more simple. Running on 340 85 R36 tyres, calibers. They're quite good tyres, to be honest. They're still in quite good condition. They work quite well. They're sort of a good in-between tyre, I think. Last couple of bits of spraying I've done, I haven't sunk in much with it. And it don't take too long to fill up, probably 15 minutes to fill up. It's 24 metre booms like Berthoud. We're still running the blue, I can't remember what they're called, nozzles. There's the box I was on about with all the electrics and that all went wrong to start off with, but well, didn't all go wrong, it just had no way of building the air up. But we sorted that out. We've got all your main filters there. Your Ramsey valves are underneath. It's got 2 Ramsey valves, one for the air tech and one for the normal spraying. Hang on. Well, that's just fell off. That's meant to be on there, but don't want to be on there anymore. Okay, I saw that. Yeah, it's all got lights on it. It follows quite nicely down the road, to be honest. It's a little bit wobbly on the back roads and that, but we've also got your cleaning down, wash off. That runs the pump, that little switch there, and it all unravels. And you've got like a cleaning brush for cleaning it down. It runs off the wash tank on the top. But it's a very basic sprayer. You've got all your pressure valves. This side is for normal spraying and that's for the air tech, but we don't have the air tech on it anymore, so yeah, because you build your pressure up. That's running a little bit high. That's running a 5 bar. I'm usually running between 3 and 3.5 bar usually. That's if the automatics put it up a tiny bit, but probably since I switched it off it's done that. But yeah, so it's a good sprayer. It's basic, it's simple, it's just nice and easy to use, but well, not easy to use, it's a bit awkward in the corners. It's a little bit more awkward than what I'm used to, but it's a lot simpler. One pump, one PTO shaft, its hydraulics are very basic, everything's just very basic, and that's not a bad thing, to be honest. That's a good thing for us. It makes it nice and easy to fix when it goes wrong, and usually it's a lot less likely to go wrong as well, but we'll see. But hope you've all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.